What's going on, it's the Rap Nerd, and I'm here today to talk about the Vince Staples show that just hit Netflix today. It's starring, written, and produced by Vince Staples himself. Now, the show is a fictional show of Vince Staples as the rapper that he is and who we all know him as if you are into hip-hop. Day-to-day lifestyle, and it's fiction. Like there's a lot of mind-bending, non-realistic stuff that goes on. And if you are a fan of Vince, or even a fan of him as a person and the way he talks and things that he does in interviews, the show is 100% that. Like, Vince to me is the personification of like the show Atlanta in a sense. You know, he is extremely clever, witty, intelligent, but highly humorous. And I feel like when you have that level of intellect and combine it with humor, you can really make some of the funniest stuff imaginable. And to me, this show checks off all the boxes when it comes to the humor and just as a show and the small messages that he just peppers in there, because if you know how he talks and you're aware of how he is, you know exactly what I mean. I will also say that if you don't know who Vince Staples is, this show is still very, very entertaining. Like, it's not one of those things where you have to know who he is or understand his humor to get it, because I think it's funny off rip even if you just stumbling across it on Netflix. So I binge watched the whole thing today. It's only 5 episodes, and what I'm impressed by is the production value. Like, this show feels like this show is kind of up the alley of Atlanta. So if you're a fan of that show, you pretty much will be a fan of this, I think. But unlike Atlanta, like I mentioned earlier, the Vince Staples show is 100% fantastical. Whereas the first season of Atlanta, it was like kind of fantastical in a way of, if you know about certain things, you know that this is exaggerated. But if you don't, the show just kind of is straightforward. It's like a comedy. But you know, as the seasons kept going in Atlanta, it just got way more fantastical. But here in the first season, it's already there off the rip. And what I find to be cool about the show, as I mentioned, earlier, is it follows Vince Staples as he is. And what I mean by that is, in this show, in this universe, this world, or whatever it is, it's Vince Staples who is already a famous rapper and maneuvering day to day, just doing stuff. So you'll have people who see him and know who he is. You'll have people trying to give him ideas for music. He already has a big house. He already has all of these things that you could imagine that he himself right now has, and that's what makes it so dope and interesting. Whereas other shows kind of have fictional characters in here, but here it's a real character in a fictional world, so that creates a pretty cool dynamic. And if Netflix does greenlight a second season, there's a whole lot of different places they can take it, and I already know it's going to be even better than what we got here. But I really have no flaws with the show. The only thing that I could think that somebody would say is that the show feels a little aimless in regards to, like, character arcs will be leading to. But personally, I don't have a problem with that, because this is just a day in the life of Vince as a celebrity, just magnified at such a fantastical level. And I just love the amount of humor in here. You have stuff that's straight up in your face, and you have little small things on the wall with posters. You might have somebody over an intercom saying something funny. You might have character banter from background characters that just make this show hilarious. And it's one of those shows where you really have to listen to the dialogue to see what's being said, because of how witty a lot of the lines are. Like, it's just forever flowing, and there are things that you can miss if you aren't paying attention, because there are a few times I had to rewind it back, like, what did he just say? Like, somebody over in the intercom was like, in one of my favorite episodes, involving Vince, his girlfriend, and her brothers going to like this theme park, and as they're walking through the theme park, this guy over at intercom is saying like the craziest outlandish stuff. The episode's called Red Door, the Red Door. Like, over at intercom saying stuff like, every parent must be with the same race child. If not, we will be calling the police on you. Random little stuff like that in that episode is just one thing, but it's just a lot of stuff spread out throughout the show that is like hilarious, but also kind of like really fast moving, that if you miss it, you might not catch it. And like I said, it's only 5 episodes, so you can burn through it really quick. I watched it all today, and I just wanted to give my thoughts on it, just, to support Vince, because I do mess with him as an artist and a person. So to see him go into this world and doing his own thing, finally, he's been cameoed in all kind of things, and I've always thought he was funny. So I'm just glad to see that he was able to capture his personality, his vision, his artistic credibility, and all of that in this show. Like, it's honestly great to see, and I really hope that this gets a lot of burn. It turns out so we can get a season 2, because I really want to see what's next and what's in his mind. Like I said, he wrote all of the episodes, so these are all things that he said that either he saw that were exaggerated, or from his friend's perspective or other people he knows perspective, all put in one. Like I said, my favorite episode is the Red Door, where they go to this carnival. There's another episode that involves a bank robbery. He just happens to be there. I think it's called Black Money or something like that. In the first episode, with him being in jail, and it is hilarious, man. So if you are interested at all, I would definitely say watch it. Thumbs up. I really thoroughly enjoyed it, and we'll watch it again. So if you've seen the Vince Staples Show, let me know in the comments what your favorite episode was. What are your favorite moments thus far, and are you looking forward to a season 2? So if you like this kind of content, make sure to like and subscribe. And if you already are subscribed, thank you. And until next time, peace. Rap Nerd Productions, no capping, that's word to mommy.